Hello folks, if you haven't seen, Transcendence heroes just got a massive boost in power. Yesterday we were taking a look at the campaign mode that's dropped itself, but when you are able to upgrade heroes in the Tree of Origin, you can give them some insane new abilities. Now unfortunately this is limited to Void 4 heroes who happen to be Transcendent, and that means big implications for a lot of people because it pretty much means the difference between Transcendence heroes and normal heroes is going to increase massively. I've looked at a few and then I thought, man, this is so nuts. I have to give you guys my first impression looking at some of this stuff. So that's what we're going to be doing today, taking a look through all the different skill increases and just seeing how nutty this has gotten. Because I'll let you know, folks, the level cap has increased for Transcendence heroes depending on their Tree of Origin tier, and that's not just the only thing. So we're going to go take a look at this and just see how crazy it's getting. So if you didn't know from yesterday, you're able to pick up Spiritual Essence from campaign, and you use that to upgrade a hero in the Tree of Origin. So if I go across on the VIP series to my Sword Flash, I can enter here, and just by accumulating stuff throughout the days, I've managed to get 2,500. I say days, this is literally the first 24 hours. We're going to go ahead and activate this. It will consume Stellar Shards, which is a bit of a pain, but it does give you these level bonuses. Now, when a hero is activated like this, it gets pretty silly. You need a Core of Origin, which is basically going to give you bonus stats, which we'll take a look at in a second, and also your abilities will change. So, for example, Void Crusher, which is Sword Flash's active skill, gets improved, the damage numbers are taken higher, and most importantly, Will of the Sword normally says every time she does 6 successful dodges or blocks, she'll gain Impeccable Flow. Well, here it says 5. And across all abilities, heroes just get better skills if they're Transcendent. It's like when you take them to Void 1, Void 2, Void 3, Void 4, and you improve their skills, it's exactly the same as that, but here in the Tree of Origin. So that's instant power creep, making Transcendents have better skills than they did before, and heroes that are like Eloise, for example, do not get this treatment. So if I take a look at Eloise, for example, look at this tree, okay? That's it. She just gains fixed attack, fixed HP. There's no skills on this, which means that heroes that aren't Transcendent don't get the insane bonus from this. They just get a little bit of power. And it's fixed attack, fixed HP. I mean, yeah, 500,000 attack is nice, don't get me wrong, but that's once you've maxed this thing to level 120. That is nothing compared to what you get from Awakening and Tenants. I mean, it's going to be great for Tenants. It's going to make Tenants really strong if you upgrade these things in the Tree of Origin, but that's just more stuff that we're going to have to go and do. If you go look at Transcendence heroes, different story. Their trees have tiers, and it's silly because it's not just their skills that get improved, right? Do you see these little blobs on the outside of the tree? You didn't have those on Eloise. And these, oh my, a lot of people overlooked this and didn't even realize it's a thing. Increases crit by 10% when you unlock that blob there. This one, she improves her HP restoration by 50% of the damage she deals. And then this one launches an extra attack after the third attack, which deals further armor-ignoring damage, equal to 960% of attacks. That's literally adding another attack component to her active skill. So she's doing that second one, which is 960, twice. Pretty crazy that that's just giving more power to Sword Flash's active skill. Now take a look at this. Noble Sublimation. This gives you a 20% chance to do the Glowing Blade effect without consuming Impeccable Flow. If I show you what that is, Glowing Blade allows you to deal extra armor ignoring damage, and the big thing here is it restores health equal to 100% of the damage dealt. Now, if you've ever done anything like Seal Land, where you're playing with a Sword Flash, and it's like Seal Land 25, maybe even higher, there are moments when your Sword Flash is low on health, and you really need her to clutch in Impeccable Flow so that it triggers on Glowing Blade, and she heals. Now, sometimes that just doesn't happen, unfortunately, and you feel sad, because you're like, dang it, man, I was so hoping she was going to heal, and she dies. Well, there's ways around that, right? You can run block, you can make her dodge. Whenever she does those things enough times, Will of the Sword will trigger, and she'll gain Impeccable Flow. Now, first things first, as we already looked at, that's now 5, not 6, so it's easier to go ahead and get Impeccable Flow. But with this ability right here, there's a 20% chance you don't even need it. So there's a 20% chance she just walks in and goes, you know what, I ain't got Impeccable Flow, I don't need to consume it because I'm going to do this for free. So it means that high rolling with Sword Flash is totally going to become a thing that happens way more often, because that 20% chance is huge. Now looking at this, she increases the basic attack to 6 times that she hits. Originally it was 5 times, so that's more damage coming in. And here, her precision is going to go up by 40%. So heroes that want to block, like Eloise, are going to get dunked on by Sword Flash. And also, precision increases your damage dealt. So brilliant bonuses here. As well, presence of mind. This is the thing that whenever she releases an active skill, she gains a layer of sharpness. Well, here, she's just getting a flat HP and attack bonus. That's beautiful. And increases the damage cap of her attack to 500%. Well, originally the sharpness damage was capped at 1500% of attack, so she's going to be dealing way more damage to bosses. And then this. There is a 25% chance to gain 1 extra layer of sharpness. And sharpness is what lets you dodge. So she could dodge twice rather than once. That is nuts for her survivability. That's 1 less attack she takes. And also, because it's a guaranteed dodge, that's going to help Will of the Sword, because every time you dodge, it's going to help you trigger Impeccable Flow. And given the fact that there's a 25% chance you get 2 dodges, doesn't even matter if you build a block, because your Sword Flash is going to get 2 free dodges, which is 2 free points towards the Will of the Sword, which is just a stupid freaking ability. Double dodging? Dodging is bad enough. Her having a 25% chance to get that twice, and this is the one that gets me, right? You see, we've seen a lot of these abilities that have had like a 20% chance, 25% chance. What could they possibly do to Will of the Sword to make this better? There's a 100% chance. It just says gains. 50 energy for every layer of Impeccable Flow she obtains. She can energy feed herself now. It's like, oh, Impeccable Flow happened? Here's half of your energy bar filled. I'm sorry, what? This is insane. Energy feed is something crucial on Sword Flash, and her being able to do that for herself, I'm sorry, but that's nutty. I'm glad this is locked away on the final tier, so you do need to get her up to level 100 on the Tree of Origin, but that does not change the fact that once you get to this point, she gains 50 energy every time she gains Impeccable Flow. I'm speechless. So when she kills someone, 50 energy. When she blocks or dodges 5 times, 50 energy. If she kills someone and blocks enough times, she can literally restore her whole energy bar. Crazy. This here, every dodge or block is going to increase her attack by 1% for 6 rounds. So great, she becomes an even better damage dealer. She's boosting her own attack. She's like, oh, I dodged, I blocked. Oh, that's cool. So she becomes a block Andy at this point. Like, 100% block Sword Flash is totally going to become a thing, because every time it happens, 1% added attack on for your Sword Flash. Let's go. And then finally, here's a flat bonus of HP and attack. It's freaking nuts. And that's just Sword Flash we've looked at. It's not just added abilities. It is not just added levels. It is all of these things. And to make matters worse, it is not just an entire tree giving you a ton of bonuses. You'll see there was a thing called the Core of Origin. If you go to your bag, you can take a look at all of these by clicking Core of Origin here in the top right, and we can look at the book to go see what these are. Sword Flash gains something called the Noble Core, and this Noble Core is ridiculous. First of all, it gives her flat attack and HP bonuses, which is kind of nice, but it's Core Liberation, which is the big thing for her. When she gets Impeccable Flow, she will grant Flow Incarnation to all allies except herself for 2 rounds. Flow Incarnation reads, the owner of it will get 15% added all damage dealt and reduces the damage taken equal to 80% of their own attack. That's nuts, because 80% of your own attack is literally the kind of thing Augustus Magic Ball does. It's his damage dealt that scales with your attack. So basically, she's giving a mini Augustus Magic Ball to everybody and boosting their damage dealt by 15%. This is an insanely good ability. Combine that with everything else she gets, that is just whenever she gets Impeccable Flow. Why is this in the game? This is so mad. It's freaking power creep. And a lot of people are going to look at this and go, this isn't fair. Why is it Transcendence heroes that get this kind of power? But you know what? That's what I thought at first too. But now the more I think about it, I'm like, this isn't actually a bad thing. This means that players that are budget or free to play, if you just grind in the Tree of Origin like I did, right? You just go ahead, claim these things from campaign. They'll tick on over. Congrats. You'll eventually get some Spirit Essence. If you just keep doing that, eventually you'll get your hero up in the Tree of Origin, and the Core of Origins will come in, and eventually, congratulations, you will get yourself a super powered Sword Flash, which will then be able to do way more game modes, and it's going to make things like Vanquisher pushes in the Gate of the Void. It's going to make things like deeper levels of Seal Land way more accessible for people. So you don't have to go and finagle and build some weird heroes to pair with the Sword Flash, because she's able to do it on her own. Now, the other criticism of this is it means heroes like Sword Flash are going to be way ahead of everybody else. So Transcendence heroes are going to be pushed to a power level that just doesn't compare to other heroes. Now, how's that going to adjust the meta? Well, we then have to weigh up whether it's still viable to run people like Rogan on teams, because sure, Rogan has great passive bonuses. You're gaining speed, you're gaining crit damage, damage, you're gaining attack, you're gaining crit. And this makes your already strong heroes way more powerful. But if you're going ahead and Tree of Origining up a hero, then it could get to a point where it's better to just have a Tree of Origin hero on your team than a Rogan. But that said, getting to that point is going to be exceptionally difficult, so heroes like Rogan able to buff an already insanely powerful hero will definitely remain a thing. So we won't see changes too much when it comes to running Rogans or Seahus or other basic heroes that will support Transcendence heroes, but it is totally going to push people that we love and know like Eloise out of what heroes are able to do in comparison. Because, sure, Eloise is nuts and she's very, very powerful, especially in the early game, but this is going to push her late gameness, her late game viability out of the window. It's going to make her definitely not able to keep up because her Tree of Origin is not as fancy or as established as Transcendence heroes have. So let's go take a look at some of the other ones. Let's take a look at Hellora. So again, Hellora's skills, these are going to get improved. The damage is all the way up to 1800% of attack damage. That's massive. Abyssal Corruption's coming in. 24% less crit damage, 24% more crit damage. Pretty sure that's a direct improvement of what it is when she's imprinted. If you take a look, it's 20%, so that's an added 4% you're getting, which is it's substantial. 4% adds up. And then if you go ahead and look at the Queen's Edict, basic attack, dealing more damage. It's going to reduce their crit by 25%. All the usual stuff, but just the numbers are higher. Look at Royal Guard. Your damage dealt is getting increased by 24%. Beforehand, on her imprinted version, it was exactly the same, but instead, it's 20%. So a lot of things are changing. And hang on a second. Have you guys noticed this? They've totally messed up Scarlet Queen. Her final passive is a copy and paste of her active skill. They've totally buggered that one up. So there's no added Royal Guard version that you can go ahead and read and see what it would be like if she was imprinted up. Yo, does that carry on through in your actual Void 4 copy? Yeah, it does. How the hell have they let that be a thing? Is this new? Or is this just a straight up oversight from the devs? I'm going to have to let them know about this because this is just freaking stupid. Well, that's dumb. Someone needs a slap. But yeah, okay. I was going to show you the comparison. Sadly, I can't. But anyway, let's get back to taking a look at the bonuses you get if you've got a Scarlet Queen Hollora. So into the Tree of Origin we go, and let's look at some of these little nodes. So this first one here increases her all damage dealt by 12%. I'm sorry, what? Just to have 12% extra damage dealt? Sure. What about this one? There's a 25% chance to inflict one extra layer. What? One extra layer of Abyssal Corruption? So they take 48% less crit damage and 48 more crit damage? Oh no. And then there's, oh, even worse, Corrupted Heroes, their crit goes down by 10%. So are you seeing this? Like, these nodes are giving some really silly stuff. Like, look, basic attack now targets 4 random enemies instead of 3. Okay. Increases the duration of the crit and crit damage to 6 rounds. So, oh, nice. So originally she's going to increase her crit by 18% for 4 rounds. It's now 6 rounds. Sure. And this one, here's 40% precision. Okay, this one right here, there's a HP and attack bonus, so these things seem consistent, right? We've seen our heroes get themselves, ooh, here's some precision, ooh, here's some attack, right? That kind of makes sense. Now this one increases her HP restoration by 20%, sure, get some healing, and when it is triggered, she will additionally restore HP for all Queen's Guarded heroes by 20% of her self HP restoration. What? Whoa, whoa, whoa. So when a round ends, for every 1 survived in the battlefield, she restores 8% of max HP. And then that's going to be added by 20%. So 20% of 8 is like 1.6%. So it's 9.6%. And then it's for everyone on the battlefield. And then 20% of that, she's just going to give to everybody else as well. Because it says all with Queen's Guard. That's literally your entire team. Oh, no. And what's the final one? Counterattacks reduce the target's attack by 3%. That's cool. Wait. Counterattacks? Wait. And you take like 5 of them because of Queen's Guard? So you just lose 15% of your attack? Ugh. Queen's Guard's all damage reduction is added by 8%, so it goes from 24 all the way up to 32%. Yikes. And it's just going to gain HP and attack. So These final nodes, right? These little tiny baubles that are on trees is just giving your heroes so much more power. All right, let's go take a look at Azmodel Adornus. If he got chunky, that's going to be really, really funny. So again, his skills are improved. Oh my goodness me. Removing revenge, dealing damage, all the numbers are up. Okay, let's see what he gains here. Precision, yep. When dealing damage to targets with revenge, he's going to restore his own HP. Okay, that's cool. Inbuilt healing, that's sweet. And then for every 1 stack of revenge that a target has, he's going to deal additional damage up to 4 times, and then removes 4 stacks of revenge. Okay, additional damage? Sure. So he already does a ton of damage on enemies with revenge. He's going to do even more now. So massive chunky damage dealer. Additionally, reduces target speed. Oh, that's nice. So his basic attack to the frontline enemies, it's going to improve his own control immunity, but now it slows down the people on that front line. Now, 10 is not significant, but it adds up. Like in a speed battle, in PvP, if you're evenly matched, then yeah, reducing speed's pretty clutch. Unfortunately, PvP is not a game mode now where people are evenly matched. Like PvP was dead ages ago when they massively increased the ceiling. And yeah, these kind of abilities don't put in as much weight as they used to, but still it can help in game modes where speed is very close, like Seal Land, and being able to beat that is important. And here we go, increases the duration of the control immunity to 4 rounds, so originally it's 3 rounds, that's 1 extra round. These don't seem that significant, and his all damage dealt goes up by 12. Oh, okay, right. Attack and HP bonus, we've got ourselves a 25% chance to inflict 1 extra layer of revenge when inflicting revenge. Okay, that's fair enough. Like, revenge is kind of what makes Azmodel do his thing. It helps him deal extra damage and stuff. And all allies are going to gain all damage dealt by... wait, what? Increases all allies except his own damage dealt by 30% of the amount of the stuff that he gets. Oh, his self-received. So, basically, he's getting 18% all damage dealt bonus. And then he's giving 30% of that to everybody else. Now, 30% of 18, granted, is not a substantially large number. It's like 3.2, 3.6, 3.6%. Yeah, no, higher. It's 1.8 times. So yeah, 3.6. It's going to be 5.2, I think. 5.2%, which is a nice bonus to all damage dealt, but it's not on the level of the other heroes we were looking at. There's a 30% chance to grant glorious support to another ally with the lowest HP. Oh, that's his shield. Okay, that's kind of cool. That's going to give them added protection. Additionally, increases his control immunity by 10%. It's kind of nice, but not substantial. And finally, HP and attack. Right, I'm looking at Azmodel's. He's not, like, cutting it in the way that, like, I was losing my mind over the fact that Sword Flash was getting bonuses. I think that's the thing. Like, Sword Flash is a hero that didn't need a buff, whereas Azmo actually does. So I think the difference in these is that this was their opportunity to make him more powerful. But of course, we haven't even looked at the core of origin for Azmodel, which gets a bit silly. When an ally releases a basic attack or active skill, he's going to summon the Heavenly Chariot, which is going to pursue them and attack them. And afterwards, the ally is going to gain 20% holy damage. That's kind of cool. At the end of each round, for every stack of revenge, he's going to reduce the all damage dealt by 4% for 1 round for the enemies with revenge, up to 4 stacks. So he can go ahead and just reduce the team's damage that you're facing by 16% if they've all got 4 stacks of revenge on. So that's kind of nice. But again, it's not on the level of Sword Flash's core of origin. We didn't even look at Hollora's core of origin, so let's go take a look at this. This is pretty silly. When all allies with Queen's Guard take damage, she restores their health. Okay, nice. So people just get inbuilt healing when they get bonked, so everyone turns into Norma. Meanwhile, their crit goes up by 10% for 3 rounds, which can only be triggered 1 time for each ally every round. So that's a 1-time 10% crit bonus, which will stack. Right, it's 3 rounds, so eventually it'll become 30%. And when an enemy takes crit damage, Scarlet Queen will pursue them, dealing a bit of extra attack. So whenever you crit on people, Queen's like, 1 second, I'm going to hurt you too. Kind of a nice ability. And it's not like game-breakingly strong. It's not like the stupid crap we saw on Sword Flash, where she was just improving everybody's all damage dealt and like just basically going nuts every time she gets impeccable flow, right? Yeah, Sword Flash was really silly, but these seem pretty substantial, but you know, not game breaking. And it's the same for every single freaking Transcendence hero. We could go through every single one of them, but it's just more of the same. People are getting like so many added bonuses. Holy crap! Look, there you go. Control precision on Jara. If her energy is greater than or equal to 200. She's going to inflict the same control effects 1 more time. Oh my goodness me. So even better CC chance from Noble Sublimation. That's ridiculous. She's going to trigger... triggering conditions of Petrify, Rock Lock, enemies with no less than 40% HP. She's going to trigger for freeze... What? Oh, wow. So it's moving the boundaries on the skills. by 10%. So originally its enemies were like 50 and 50, but like it's moving the boundaries to 40 and 60. Now I don't know how substantial that's going to be, but anything to improve the chance that you CC people with a jar is good. Her skills are going to additionally reduce the effect of being healed by 20% for 2 rounds for the enemy with the lowest HP, and then the damage dealt by 10% for 2 rounds for the enemy with the highest attack. So she's reducing the highest attack enemy's attack, and she's reducing the healing on the lowest HP. So she's pretty much making it easier for you to go ahead and kill them and finish them off, and harder for them to recover. Her attack steal ability, that's normally, I think, 2 rounds, becomes 3 rounds. Yeah, that's fair enough. And then she gets that 40% precision we've seen on a few heroes. There's your HP and attack bonus. She's going to get a 20% chance to obtain 1 extra layer of focus, and focus is something that improves her control precision and control immunity offset. Wow. So basically she's giving herself a chance of getting more receptor style abilities there. That's a 20% chance. And when the battle starts, she gains 2 layers of focus. Oh, wow. So straight on round 1, she's walking around with 20% control precision and 10% control immunity offset. That's nutty. That makes a huge difference. Combine that with the Mage, Starspawn, and with a Receptor. That's crazy. That means she's going to be way more reliable at CCing people. Freaking crazy. And when an enemy is frozen, she's going to deal damage. Yep. And when an enemy is petrified, she's going to deal damage. So how does that get improved? When an enemy is petrified, she's going to get some more poison against them. Wait, poison's all petrified enemies? Ugh. Nice. 300% damage for 2 rounds. So a little bit of chip damage coming in there. When an enemy is frozen, she's going to bleed them. Okay, cool. Same kind of thing. And then finally, there's your HP and attack bonus. So yeah, all Transcendence heroes just got freaking nuts. And oh man, what does this mean? What does this mean? It just means that your heroes are just going to be so next level if they're transcended, and you get them upgraded in the Tree of Origin. Let's just see how far I can go with my Sword Flash, right? Can I actually unlock any of this on her? Because now that's the other question. How easy is this to get? Because I got some of these spiritual essences. Let's upgrade this. Let's go. Oh, it's going to consume Stellar Shards. Well, that's a bit annoying. And I can literally only get it to level 2. It's going to require a lot. And I mean a lot of spiritual essence. It's going to take time. Also, there's no way of buying spiritual essence with real money. It's just something you're going to have to grind for in the campaign. So, yeah, that's going to take its time. But holy crap. Like, the fact that this new campaign mode exists it's crazy. Like, there are so many cool waves to go ahead and fight. I managed to, in the end, beat this first wave. It was kind of fun. I had to brute force it with melodic strings, but we managed it. But yeah, being able to go through and fight these, take down some of these waves, it's hard, but you get rewarded for it, right? You are getting a ton of these spiritual essences, and then they are used to upgrade your hero in the Tree of Origin, which then is going to make them more powerful, and it's just going to stack and stack and stack and stack and just result in a ton of extra power. And you really should be focusing on putting this into your main Transcendence hero, because the bonuses they get around the edge of the tree, more importantly than from the active skill, is nuts. Now, obviously, all these skills are improved, the numbers are going up, so your heroes are getting much more potent, but just have a read of some of these. Like, look, that added sharpness on Sword Flash is crazy, and just some heroes that can CC, like Jara and Aspen, which are going to be really clutch in that campaign mode, will probably make a huge difference to teams. And the core of Origins as well, they have some insane fixed abilities. If you go to the bag, take a look at these. Like, some of these are just nutty. Like, I was looking at Freya's and it nearly destroyed me. She turns into Rogan at the beginning of the battle and at the end of each round, so just like Rogan's passive. She grants Pistol Essence to one random ally who doesn't have it, and then is going to increase the attack and speed by 20 for all allies who have Pistol Essence. As well, whenever an ally releases a basic or active skill, there's a 1 in 3 chance the Pistol Essence which you have is going to get triggered, and when it triggers, it spreads to someone else who doesn't have it. So eventually, with enough attacks, Pistol Essence spreads out to everybody, and then after it's been released 4 times, the owner will obtain a shield equal to 1/8 of their max HP. That's freaking great, right? So she's just dishing out shields, she's dishing out bonuses, she's given 20 speed and 20% attack to all allies. It just turns her into a Rogan. And she's already giving bonuses to people with all of her layers of the evolutionary stuff. So it just makes Freya an insane support hero. She's like super duper Rogan. And Rogan is already nuts. So turning Freya into that, next level. I really love some of these core Origin abilities, but they scare me, right? Some of them are really, really good because honestly, they just fill weaknesses of heroes. Like, one that really terrifies me is Holmes Youngs's. At the beginning of the battle, he's going to gain 60 bottles of Immaculate Potion. And whenever an ally takes a basic attack, so he's on the receiving end of an attack, he's going to restore their health and increase their attack. So he's just basically giving them all Blood Frenzy like Waldeck does. And they gain armor, right? So 4% healing, attack goes up by 8%, armor goes up by 8%, and that's every time they get hit. For 2 rounds that lasts. It's crazy. When an ally releases basic attacks or active skills, he's then going to use 3 of these bottles and increases the damage over time that the attacked enemy takes by 5%. So you could run a whole damage over time team and improve the damage you deal to these opponents massively. And then when an ally dies, there's a 50% chance to inflict Perceptual Disorder on all enemies. And Perceptual Disorder is Holmes Young's fancy little ability that he gets when he's transcended, which is actually pretty darn good. If we go take a look at it, it is here. During its validity period, it's going to change the opponent's attack, right? He's going to Annabelle them pretty much, right? He's going to make them do nothing with their attacks. It's 80% of attack damage for 6 rounds, right? As a damage over time to one of their allies. He changes that, right? He makes their attack or basic attack hurt your own team. Stupid. So being able to do that off the back of his own like core of Origin is freaking crazy. All these heroes just got so much more stronger. And it all comes down to this tree of Origin and the cores of Origin just playing into the hero's strengths. And I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel because on one hand, it makes a ton of heroes irrelevant. On the other hand, it means it's so much more important to get Transcendence heroes. Some people have also been crazy enough to suggest that maybe you want to start chasing crystals of Transcendence heroes instead of Stellar Shards, but let's be real, that's probably not smart because you need Void 4 Transcendence heroes to even have the chance to do this. So I still think Stellar Shards are probably worth focusing on. Not to mention that by having more imprints on your account, you're going to improve your performance in the Void arc. So there's a lot of strengths to focusing on Stellar Shards, and earlier accounts even more so. It's super important. So I think these people might be jumping the gun by saying Crystals of Transcendence are now really important, but it's definitely important to have Transcendence heroes on your team. So the gap between people who have Transcendence heroes and people who don't have Transcendence heroes just got way bigger. So again, I want to stress this. Don't compare yourself to other people. People that spend are going to be massively ahead because of this update, and people who don't just have this to look forward to when they finally get themselves Transcendence heroes. And all in all, it's just going to make things like Seal Land, and it's going to make the Gate of the Void, and it's going to make this new campaign mode a hell of a lot easier because Transcendence heroes just got OP. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. There's some crazy abilities. Let me know which hero you really like, the special abilities they've been given. And yeah, it just seems like we're going to have to learn a lot about this, deep dive, see which heroes really benefit from this, and see what game modes can be cleared with these new abilities. But that's going to take time. The Tree of Origin is a pain to grind through. It's only day 1, and I'm only level 2. There's like 120 levels, and I'm sure that the amount you need is going to just exponentially increase. So yeah, it's a crazy thing, but still pretty cool. Anyway, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one, and happy island.